that heaviest band is going to include the city of Chicago, Rockford, and Madison. Milwaukee and Kankakee are going to be in the lighter area, and of course, just south of there, they're not going to get much of anything at all. It's a complete difference from what we've been seeing. A few clouds, 30 to 25 tonight.
3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Tavern Brick podcast. And coming off of Brick World Chicago 23, my first trip, I wanted to have this guest on for a while. I've been following on Instagram Live and through Instagram, through all the pictures. He's an OG. I mean, dating way back. And I mean, I think I followed this guy around the same time I started following some of the bigger name people on YouTube and everything else. So I have with me the Brick Adjuster.
Hey, hello.
It's finally good to connect. We connected in Chicago. You were like,
yes.
One of the first person I saw was Ben from A Fall After Dark.
Okay, yeah.
And then Kevin from Building with Buds.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. And then walked through the door and seen you and Harold.
That was Saturday, right?
No, that was early. That was that was Thursday.
That was Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what we were doing because we were leaving. Oh no.
Yeah, you guys were leaving somewhere because you're we're heading out.
What time was that? Was that in the evening?
Early afternoon.
Maybe we were going to get a bite to eat because I know my wife. She was basically our Uber, Maria, and so she didn't get a ticket to the actual show. She and the kids basically toured around Chicago while Harold and I were doing the fun stuff at the convention. And then when it was time to eat, she would pick us up, and then we go get some deep dish pizza here, and then on another day we get another deep dish pizza, and then a lot of deep dish pizza.
Yeah, it's Chicago hot dogs or deep dish pizza.
Yeah. Well, you're close to Chicago, right? So I guess you've had enough of your deep dish pizza. You've had it up to here.
It's like 3.5 hours south of me, so it wasn't too bad of a trip. And then I have family that lives in Chicago, so we just stayed there. But
this was your first time? Your first time at
Brick World, so I didn't know what to expect.
And the kids had the blue lanyard, the full.
We brought them on public day, so we brought them only on Saturday.
Yeah, so I saw you on Saturday. That's when I saw you because you were with. I saw you twice.
Yeah, it might have been.
I'm not sure. When did you give me the sticker?
That would have been Thursday, right when I walked in, because I was giddy about everybody. Okay. That's all I heard was everybody was giving stickers out. So I was in a mad rush before Brick World to get my stickers.
I didn't even know that was a sticker until you told me afterwards. I thought it was a business card.
Oh my God. I was like, how many do I bring? Do I bring 250? Do I bring 300? Oh. And I think I probably handed out 100.
Okay.
So wow. I overdid it, but
so you met 100 influencers basically.
Yeah. Which is wild because I'm like going back, like, who did I hand stickers out to? But I
was like all the platforms like Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube?
Yeah, it wasn't like a clicky thing. It wasn't like, oh, I'm only looking for Instagrammers or YouTubers. Like it was more or less. Yeah, I was like, hey, I know you. I've seen you before. And then I'd go up and introduce myself. And I'm not a shy person at all. But it was just crazy walking around. And it's like, holy cow, there's Ryan from M&R Productions just
I know.
Chilling and like,
there.
Like Shy's like my bro. And when I turned the corner and all of a sudden I seen Shy standing there, I was like, oh my God. Like,
was this the first time you guys met in person?
Yeah.
Okay, so nice.
I walk up to Shy and I was like, everybody's handing out sig figs and bricks. And I'm like, all I have is a sticker. So here you go. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to like one up you. And he gave me I have the Shy Time sig fig.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yep, right in the bag.
Those are really nice. Those are really good. Nicely done. They did a wonderful job. Like everybody's sig figs, awesome.
So now I'm going into Brick World, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to do a sig fig next year, for sure.
Yeah, because I heard last year it was clicky. Like the Instagrammers stayed in one spot, the TikTokers were another, the Twitchers stayed together, and YouTube.
Yeah.
But I think over the year there was a lot of intermingling, and so this year everyone was together, and so I think the only kind of separate, what might have been like the Lego Masters were kind of in their separate area.
But they were
intermingling as well.
Yeah.
They were intermingling as well.
Yeah, because the group, like the main group, I was hanging out with a lot of the AFOL After Dark people, Ben and Tacos, and
you guys had the beard shirts. Was that
yeah? I wasn't sporting that. I wasn't rocking that. That was Cody and the Brick Builders Guild.
Slopes?
Yeah,
Okay.
Brick Slopes, and cool group of people. I mean, super fun to hang out with. We actually took a night. Me and Ben kind of planned this out for a couple months now. Cody, who runs Brick Slopes, he actually got a limousine, and I didn't know anything about the limo, so we had our own vehicle there. So we're like, all right, everybody go to Pequod's, which is this popular pizza place, and we kind of had this get together and pizza and drinks at Pequod's, and also that whole group rolls up in a limo, and I'm like, what?
How did you like Pequod's? We didn't. That was the one place we didn't go to, but we went to some other pizza places.
It was really good, and
I've seen pictures. The pictures of the pizza that Pequod's looks really good.
Yeah, it's like authentic deep dish. Like it was really good, and it was such a small place, and like we walked in, and the people were like, "How many people do you have?" We're like, it's like 25 or 30. They're like,
man,
we close in like an hour, and we're like, well, can you still get us pizza? And
this will be a big bill.
Yeah, and they were so great. They're like, if you guys don't care, we're just gonna throw random pizzas, random toppings, everything in. We're just gonna keep firing pizzas out to you guys. It worked out amazing. And
how many pizzas? That's crazy.
Oh man, I think they probably brought out like 12, 14 pizzas. And
wow.
Yeah. So they were wonderful. And, you know, they're apologetic. They're like, we're so sorry because there was some miscommunication prior. And it was just good overall to get together. And Brick World, I mean, how many people did you run into that you were just like, I can't even remember.
I know. Just getting the names right. Names straight, right?
Yeah. Like I seen Josh from Josh Build Stuff, and he was kind of hanging around like Ryan and that whole clique, Cali Brick Clique and stuff. And I don't know why, but I drew a blank, and I was like standing next to him, and I'm like, what's his name? And I was like, hey, you. I'm like, you're with the Cali Brick Clique, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I can't think of your name. And he's like, Josh. And I'm like, oh, that's it. And I felt so dumb. I'm like, I watch his stuff all the time, and it's like, you just meet so many people.
Someone builds stuff. What was his? I know you build stuff, but
yeah. So did you guys stay at the hotel?
We stayed at the Hyatt.
Okay.
The reason being was because we couldn't get a room for 5 at the Renaissance, because it was me, my wife Maria, and then we brought our 3 kids too.
Okay.
And so we were able to only get a room for 5 at the Hyatt, which isn't that far. And Maria was basically our Uber. And Harold, No More Bricks, who we do a podcast with him, he was also at the Hyatt as well. And so it's free breakfast. I was looking at some videos of like rooms in the Regency, and like the Hyatt rooms are actually bigger at a cheaper price. So the only downside is just like it's further from the convention, but
that was definitely one thing we talked about, because like I said, we were fortunate. We have family in Chicago. So the kids stayed with my brother-in-law and sister-in-law while me and my wife got to go and enjoy Brick World without dragging the kids around. And we're like, all right, Saturday, we'll bring the kids, walk around. Well, that is a mistake, because I was so overwhelmed with how many people were there. Like
too much.
It was way too much. Like
they need a bigger space next year or something.
I don't know. with a 4-year-old, like she couldn't even see half of the stuff. Like, and I had to like pick her up and carry her around because 4-year-olds are like, oh, my legs hurt and done walking and I can't see anything. And like, nothing against Brick World, but people are just rude for one. And it's like, there's kids standing right here. Let the kids see stuff,
For sure.
But it was overwhelming. And we decided next year going forward, we're not bringing the kids at all. Like, this is just going to be a husband-wife trip so we can enjoy it, hang out. And we're probably going to stay at the hotel and cough up the money for whatever it costs to stay at the convention center. But if you're saying the hotel, I mean, how far away were you? Was it like 5 minutes?
It was like a 2-minute drive, but
that's not bad at all.
Like a 30-minute walk. You know where the IKEA is?
Yeah, the big giant IKEA.
It's just kind of like right next to that.
Okay. Yeah.
So you cross the highway. You cross. You know how there's that bridge where the highway is. It's basically you do like a square.
Okay.
So it's there.
If you want to say what was it at a night?
My wife booked it. I don't even know.
She's in charge.
I don't even know. Yeah. I know the prices of Lego sets, but in terms of like other stuff, she like booked it off. All the trips and stuff.
She pays the bills. She does grocery shopping.
She did. We went to like Lou Malnati's and Moretti's and there's the boss. Give it to her. And
that's how I am.
Harold's trying to pay and then no, we got it. So
that's how I am too. Don't worry about it. I just let my wife take care of it.
But I know it was cheaper than the Renaissance.
Yeah.
When we booked it, that's what she told me.
Yeah, because man, like I didn't go into any rooms. Like I didn't go up to anybody's rooms, but I know they were talking like, oh, that's really expensive for a small room. So all the rooms there must be like super
The Hyatt
small.
They were big rooms in the Hyatt.
Yeah. Which how much time do you spend in your room besides sleeping? Because at Brick World, I feel like everybody was out doing something.
Well, it was good for the kids because they're old enough to just stay by themselves, so they were just hanging out playing Switch or whatever in the hotel room. While sometimes Maria would come during the evening time with like the older ones, and actually my mother-in-law flew over as well on a Thursday. So we got to Brick World Chicago on the Wednesday. My mother-in-law flew over on the Thursday, and then the group of them were visiting family also. And so my mother-in-law was there also to kind of watch the 9-year-old while I was able to sneak the older ones into the convention to take a look at the mocks, like during like the evening time.
Yeah.
There's like one time when they were there and then the guard was like, "Where's your badge?" And then Maria's like, "I'm just here to pick up my husband." And then when he wasn't there, she like kind of strolled in afterwards. So
yeah, it didn't.
Where's your badge?
That was a crazy thing too. Is like the amount of people that were in there. I really didn't see a lot of security like during like later hours,
late night.
Yeah, like where anybody could just go in and stroll in, and
Exactly.
I didn't have a mock there or anything, and I was just kind of saying to my wife, I'm like, there are bad people out there that could just walk in and be like, oh no, this is my mock. I'm just taking this back to my room and walk away. I just felt that was kind of one of those things. I was like, there's not a lot of security.
That's what Shai was concerned about because his mock was his Falcons, but he said nothing. He was pleasantly surprised that everything was fine. So
yeah,
good.
But for the amount of people and stuff, like I haven't heard any stories yet, but like previously hearing stories of like, $50-$60 minifigures and mocks that go disappearing during public days. It's like, oh man, why did people
at Brick World or other conventions?
Yeah, at like Brick World last year. There's
interesting.
Like somebody had like a Deadpool minifig that was stolen off top of the building, and
wow.
But next year, I'm probably gonna bring a mock
Okay.
My first one. My wife might do a mosaic. She's going to take a stab at it. So we're going to go there with something.
Nice.
This year it was just going there, checking it out, meeting people. That was kind of
I'm
the
actually the opposite. So I've every convention I've been to, because I've been to Philly Brick Fest a lot of times. I always brought a mock. But this year, Public Day wasn't as enjoyable as previous Public Days that I've experienced. Like, I don't know if it was because it was so many people, but not a lot of people wanted to chat. I don't know. It seemed like, so I tried to talk to people because my mock, like I'm standing beside my mock, I'm talking to people, and it's a lot of it's like they're kind of brushing me off because they want to see the next thing, and so I like talk to the kids, and then the parents are like kind of pushing them along. So I was just like, okay, and then plus it was busy, so I really enjoyed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday wasn't as fun. And then Sunday, I basically just did Father's. I was gonna go stand by my mock again, but then instead I was just like, I didn't really enjoy yesterday, so I'm just gonna do Father's Day with you guys. And so we dropped Harold off, and then we just did like Father's Day stuff. And then I just showed up at 3 p.m. on Sunday to pack up my mock, basically.
Yeah.
And then I was like, next year I'm not gonna bring a mock. I'm just gonna enjoy the Wednesday, because that's what I really enjoy, just meeting everyone and playing the activities on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then on Saturday, I'll just like walk around and check things out, and I'm not going to be obligated to stay by my mock. And so that's what I don't know, I had the opposite experience, because normally whenever I'd go to the conventions and display my mock, people were like so engaging and wanted to talk and wanted to hear stuff that I just want to say. So that was just my experience this year.
Yeah, I felt like the big congestion was like where all the sellers were, where Atlanta Brick Co., all the vendors, like that was like a huge congestion. I told my wife, like I bought a few things, and I was like, why would you come to Brick World to search for a Lego set that's like 10 times overpriced? You know, like that was the thing, like the pricing on some of these sets. Like there's a couple that I wanted that I don't have. Like obviously I'm into modulars like you are. And like the detective's office, I still don't have it. There was one there, and I'm like, I'm not paying $600 for a detective's office.
So
it's so overpriced. I ended up buying a Citizen Brick minifig.
Okay.
My
Saves
wife
on shipping. On shipping for those.
Bought a shirt from Atlanta Brick Co. Just a few odds and ends things, but I wasn't going there to look for a set. Like, when I walked through some of these vendors, they're really overpriced. The only thing I seen was like minifigs. Minifigs were priced reasonably. Like if you shop some of the minifigs, they weren't bad. But sets, new sealed in box sets, just crazy what they wanted, like way over eBay prices. And people were buying them. Like I was like seeing people walk around with like,
they don't know. People don't know.
That's the thing. It's like, man, I don't think you realize what you just paid. Like it must just be one of those things where Lego, they're like, oh, we're gonna go to this Brick World and Lego, and then some kid talks his dad into buying a set 3 times overpriced what it actually is. I think that's the only way it works. I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I got from the vendors, and it was during like private days, from Atlanta Brick Co., but it was okay. 2 poly bags. One was like the Hank Pym Giant Man, and one was the Superman. It was like a Superman one.
Okay.
And then I got, my wife likes those keychain flashlights because she uses them for work, and she can't find them anywhere here anymore. Like they used to sell them at Toys R Us, but she can't find them. And then I showed her a picture, and they had them there at Atlanta Brick Co. So I ended up getting I got 2. And then later on, my son's like, oh, because he saw some of the video. And he's like, oh, can you get me this one and that one? So 4. And then I picked up another one. I ended up getting like 6 because I also picked up a small Grogu one from from the M&R Megastore.
Yeah.
So just like little things I picked up, like stuff that I didn't have.
We have a store that sells them locally. So if you're
Oh, the flashlights.
yeah, they
nice.
have all of them. So I know we picked up quite a few, like the hot dog guy. We have the
right there.
Yeah. But yeah,
we got the ones I got were for my wife. She wanted the Darth Vader holiday sweater one, and the Stormtrooper holiday sweater, and then for my son, he wanted the hot dog guy and the vampire.
Yep, so, I think they have a Chewbacca one too.
Oh, Chewbacca holiday sweater one, or just a regular?
No, holiday sweater. Yeah. Cool. So I'll have to look next time I go to that store. I'll take some pictures of which ones they have. I'll send it to you.
Nice.
But
did you do any of the activities?
I did not. We looked at the list and we're just kind of like, nah, we're just going to walk around and like our main goal was just talk to people and run into people. Because my wife's not really into the whole streaming thing. She doesn't watch a lot of the streaming. She knows like I check out the streams on Fridays, Saturdays, and watch stuff on YouTube. But she didn't know who anybody was. Like, I think the only person she knew going into this was Shy, just because Shy kind of got me set up with this whole podcast. But other than that, she was like, who was that? Who's that person? Who's that person? Coming out of
did I meet your wife?
Yeah. She was standing there. I probably didn't introduce her. I don't do
introduce by name. Yeah, we didn't introduce by name.
But she came out of it. She's like, I gotta step my game up. I gotta learn who these people are. But everybody, honestly, like everybody took her in, like no problem. And
she went with you for dinner and all those like the group activities, right?
Yeah, we did everything. I mean, she asked a lot of questions. You know, she likes a lot of Kate, Brick Huntress, her mosaics. She's a big Jurassic person, so
nice.
You know, she saw Kate's giant Jurassic mosaic. She was like, "Oh my god!" You know, but
and Tanner's he had like a Jurassic mock too.
Yep. So we went over there. We talked to Tanner and finally got to meet him. And yeah, it was just overall it was fun. I like the private days. 100%. If it was like that for all the days and there's no public event, like I would 100%.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
It was just even like we were starving. The kids were starving. They're like, "Oh, we want something to eat," you know. So I'm like, "Okay." I go over to the line to go see what they had, and I'm like, "Oh my god, they want like how much for a hot dog?"
How much was it?
I took a picture of the menu board. I think it was like, it wasn't bad. It was like $6 something for a hot dog, but I was still like,
well, that's cheaper than bottled water. I at the mixer, I was like, "Oh, can I get some water?" So I had my wallet out, and he's like, "That'll be $7," and then I'll be like, "Oh, okay, never mind." I'm gonna go to the water fountain instead.
No, it was, and I noticed
after that I just brought water, but because we went to like Walmart and we got a whole case, and so I was just like after that I was just packing my bag with water. I
wore a backpack. And that was the one thing I learned. I was like, all right, I'm just going to bring water bottles with me because it seemed like
expensive.
Well, if you wanted something, like obviously during the private days, none of the concessions were open. And
they had the food trucks. They had those food trucks outside.
We did get the food truck on Thursday. It was really good.
What'd you get?
I got a cheesesteak. So
nice.
Yeah, it was really good. My wife got a different food truck. I forgot what she got, but she said it was amazing. But like food wise, like I don't know. I know like people went up to the restaurant at the hotel and it was like the cheapest plate you could get at the one restaurant in the hotel was like not even close to $50. So we were not eating there.
Hyatt free breakfast every morning.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good.
No, next year we're gonna stay either a hotel close by or at the convention center just so we can hang out with people. And it seemed like everybody was just like hanging out upstairs, like
Oh, in the
not even
lobby?
down in the convention. Like they were upstairs in the lobby, hanging out on the couches. Like that's mainly where people hung out.
Yeah.
So I just think people got overwhelmed. Like I could definitely tell as the private days
Need a
went
break.
on. Yeah, people are
break.
like, I just need to get away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Friday,
I did. Oh, go ahead.
Friday we went to a Cubs game. We didn't even go to
Oh,
Brickell on
okay.
Friday. We're like,
For the whole day?
yeah, it was a 1:00 game. We're like, let's go check out Wrigley, and we went to a Cubs
Who'd you
game.
go with? Oh,
It
just
was
you and your wife?
me, my son, and
Okay.
my brother-in-law.
Oh, nice.
So we got to take the train down and do all the Chicago-y things. So it was fun. It was just a good break.
Were you there Wednesday too, or just Thursday?
Thursday, and then
So technically Thursday, Saturday.
Yep, 2 days.
Okay.
And then for Father's Day.
That's why I didn't see you so much there.
Yeah. It was kind of. We just wanted to have a day where we could check it out, and I'm glad we did. So we knew what to expect. And then Friday was a good break. Saturday was overwhelming, and we actually left Brick World. We probably spent a couple hours there, but the kids were they were checked out. There's way too many people, and my daughter, she's like, she just wanted to go, and I'm like, all right. But I ended up, after we left Brick World, we went over to Schaumburg and we checked out the Brick Mania store.
Okay.
So
And
that was pretty cool.
Did you get anything there?
I just bought a shirt there.
Okay. Nice.
Because obviously, if you know Brick Mania, their sets are not cheap.
They're pricey. That's what I was wondering. Because you'd save on the shipping, but it's still expensive.
No, like there's.
Do you have some Brick Mania sets?
No, I don't have any. Like I see Shy upload his videos, and I'm like, I want that so bad. Just because, like, my military background, and that's what I did in the Marine Corps, is I refilled aircraft.
Okay.
And there's so many aircraft sets that they make that I'm like, I want that, but not for $495. Yeah,
it's crazy.
The store's cool. Like, it's a really cool store, and it's like, it's in the weirdest location. It's like just off in this suburb outside of Chicago, and it's like, Brick Mania store. All right.
I've seen video, but I've never. We didn't go there.
Yeah, I know. There's like a couple off-brand, like mom and pop Lego stores that a few people went to. We didn't go check those out, but I don't think
I know there was like Brick Loot.
Brick Loot, yeah.
Going to Brick Loot, and then the Bricks and Minifigs store.
Yep.
I've seen videos of those too.
No. Overall, I mean, I don't know how you felt. Was this how many times have you been to Brick World?
This is my first. I've been to, in general, Brick World. Like I've been to Philly Brick Fest. 2015, 2016, 2017, I did Philly Brick Fest. When it was quote unquote good, because I heard now it's not a great convention to go to. But back in the day, it's basically like Brick World. All the YouTubers were showing up at Philly Brick Fest, and so we would meet online during streams and everything, and then we would meet in person at Philly Brick Fest, and back in the day. And so that was kind of the Brick World Chicago of like 2015, 2016, 2017. And so I knew of that. So this is my first Brick World Chicago. But I was going to say, I ended up doing a lot of the activities, and they were fun. And it was kind of like a mixer in itself, because there's the activity, and then there's Lego AFOLs, and then you're meeting people there as well. And so it was a good way to meet people too, that weren't even necessarily content creators, but also just AFOLs. And then you're basically just meeting a new person. You might be like standing next to them during the activity or whatever, right? But some fun ones were the foosball tournament that was run by a couple of Brickheads and M&R Production. And so it was basically, do you know about this one, the football tournament?
Yeah, I see. You won the foosball table, didn't you?
I did. So there was a prize for if you won the tournament, and there was a prize for the best starting 5 squad, because you put minifigures on there, right? And
Yep.
so as for gameplay, I was out in the first round. I lost like 5-1. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. But I was just taking footage. I was surprised at the end when they announced that my team won for the best squad, because I brought my pink fairy Batman. So I had 5 pink fairy Batman, and I guess it was like funny. So it was one of the funniest ones. And so it was cool. It was 32 entrants, and it was basically tournament style. If you lose, you're out. And the winner, her name's Beth. And we're like, who's Beth? She has no social media or anything. I think she's just a builder. And she like blew through the competition. I think she beat like Josh Build Stuff, and then the next round she beat Tech from Tech Production, Planet Tech. And then in the final she beat Stud City, Christo. And it was just like, who's this?
Who are you?
It's funny. Yeah, I know. And she's like, so everyone's like, oh, next year we're gonna get Beth. So she's gonna have to defend her title.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, I did a bunch of parts drafts, and those were fun too. Just you're familiar with parts drafts?
Yeah.
So it was funny because Harold, No More Bricks, who I was hanging out with, he's never done a parts draft before, and he wasn't going to do any. And so on Wednesday when we arrived, we went to the local Walmart there because I didn't have any sets for the parts draft, because I decided just to get the sets in the US because it's cheaper than getting in Canada, and it might even be on sale. So we went to Walmart, and I had the list of different sets for the parts drafts that were on the list. And so I picked one up. It was Shuri Sunbird, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it too. So he picked one up too. And so Friday was the parts draft. And so we're doing it. And then he's like, this is fun. Because he's like grabbing parts, and he's like, oh, this is cool. It also helped that he drew number 1, so he got first choice. And it was funny because his very first choice, he went and he just took like one piece, and they're like, you could take the whole container. Right? He's like, oh, you could take the whole container. So it was kind of funny, but yeah, it was a good time, like the parts drafts. I did 2 of them and got a lot of pieces, so it's fun.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, I knew there was a lot of activities going on. Now, like I said, we were just like, well, we're just gonna hang out, walk around, talk to people, and then knowing next year going into it, like if we're staying there, we know we can go do more stuff. And
yeah, what to check out?
Like all of a sudden, there are like people talking like about a buzz build at night after we got back from Pequods. I'm like, what's this buzz build?
Like a drinking?
Yeah, they're doing like drinking buzz building.
Okay.
Competition.
I didn't see that. That's cool.
There was a run one morning.
Yes, they did a 5K, a superhero run. A bunch of them. Yeah, I saw that.
Then there was like
a
goat
group,
yoga.
I was gonna say a group did goat yoga. So,
I'm like, what is going on? There's so much.
There was like a Hawaiian shirt picture. So a bunch of things that weren't planned by Brickworld. A bunch of us on Friday night, we went to Medieval Times. There was like there was like 22 of us. So that was fun. It was with a couple of brickheads, and it was funny because we started like a heaters chant during, and people were like, what are they saying? They were like, our night one. And even like over announcement, like the king was like, we'd like to thank the heaters from or something, like they said our name, like a couple of brickheads, like the heaters.
How was that? It was whole experience, because like just looking at your guys' pictures and stuff, like it looked like a blast. Like
it was
basically like a dinner and a show, right?
Basically, yeah. And I think it was more fun because you're there with people you know. Because the actual show itself, it's okay, but the fact that you're there with a group of fellow AFOLs and you're all hanging out. So it's another thing to do with a group of people, basically.
Yeah. So did they like basically, was it just like a tournament style where they brought the knights out and they did jousting, or?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then our food was like, it was like a rotisserie chicken, and then it was like a soup and a corn on the cob. And then dessert was like these like pastry things. So it was good. It was good. It was it was better than just eating deep dish pizza like the 2 nights before. We actually had a healthy meal. So
yeah. No, it looked fun. Like I know there was a couple other people that were talking about going to that event, and they're like, oh, I don't know how the chicken's going to be though. If they're like that many people go to a show. Yeah.
It was good. It tasted like Costco. I don't know if you have Costco chicken.
Yeah.
But it was basically like that. I don't know if they just went to the local Costco and grabbed a bunch, but it was like Costco chicken.
Was it expensive?
It was good. So we got the VIP, because there was like the regular, but we got the VIP where you get like the photo and then you get like different things. I think it was like $80. I think regular is like 65 or something like that. But the group of us just decided to go with the VIP section. So
yeah. And if we're going there once a year, you know, it's a dinner and a show.
And so I was watching a couple of Brickheads, and Mark was there, and then so Sean was kind of like, maybe we can make this like a regular thing and have like, because if there's more people going in there, then maybe there's like the discount. You can have your knights personalized shields with like Black Falcon or, you know, stuff like.
Yeah.
So they actually do corporate events. And so it might become a thing. We don't know. But
I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
I know I ran into the guys at ACOB, talked to them for a little bit, introduced myself, and they seem like super humble, super down to earth, nice guys.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Funny. Even like Ryan from M&R, like he took his time. You know, I said hi to him, and he was so overwhelmed. Like even Saturday, I seen the line of people just standing there waiting to talk. I
didn't see the lineup, but I can imagine it was huge.
Yeah. And I know it wasn't like other conventions where you hear like people are literally lined up around the building to meet them. But there was a lot of people, like you could tell, just standing there waiting to say hi or go to his giant store that he had, which is so funny. I was like walking in, I'm like, why the hell is there a shed sitting here? And then I went by and it was Ryan's mega store.
Yeah, that was a funny bit.
Yeah. But yeah, when you walk in, like I said, seeing the amount of tables on the private days, and then I was like, holy cow. And half the tables, that was the thing, like Thursday there were so many empty tables.
Yeah.
And then they're building that city,
New Hashima. That was crazy.
Real. And
did you see it at World of Lights when it was?
No, we weren't there.
Oh, okay. That was even better.
Yeah. And that's
there's video out there of that, and that was even better.
I told my wife, I'm like, next year I want to go to World of Lights because that thing lit up. I've seen on Instagram like some of the videos, and it's like, that is unreal. But it's crazy to think, like when we got there on Thursday when they were putting it together, and when I seen like 12-foot step ladders out and guys on top of 12-foot step ladders setting stuff, I'm like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
I don't even know how they put it, like, because they said there was like 80 different builders or something like that from like 7 different countries. Like, how do you know where to put what? Like,
I think it was Stefan, just the guy in charge, and he basically, it was his vision of what went where, because you can't have so many cooks in the kitchen. You need just like someone to actually know where something's gonna go, and so just hats off to him.
Yeah,
they said that, I guess it was like 11:58 or p.m. It was like just almost midnight Friday that they finished before the public day the next morning.
I know when we walked by, there was like 5 or 6 guys that were standing there putting stuff together, putting pieces back on, and there was one guy that might have been him, and he was like barking out, like not in a bad way, but like being like a general, like I need this here, I need this here, and it was almost like he had like an army, like waiting to give him stuff, and like
that's cool.
I heard somebody was saying they're like, yeah, we have somebody building 24/7. We always have a minimum of a couple people here around the clock to get this done, and it's like
they had a time lapse. I don't know if you saw the time lapse.
I didn't see that video yet.
There's a time lapse out there, and it was basically there's someone there throughout the whole time.
Yeah,
and you could see like the hall full, and then it scatters. Like there's hardly anyone there, but there's still people at the build. So
it truly is incredible. Like not only obviously that stole the show because of how unique, how big it was. I mean, everybody was glued to that. The giant dragon.
Eurobricks.
Yeah, that thing was unreal. I mean, there's so many things. Kate's mosaics. I mean, all the mosaics, like the mosaic wall.
Did you see the robotic chopper?
Yeah,
that was good too.
Man, I'm just like rolling through my head, like how many builds there were and how many different things. Like my kids were enamored with that. Up by the stage, there's a guy that built that crane.
Okay, that was scooping the
bricks up, and like my kids thought that was the coolest thing ever. They're like, "Oh, is that a Lego set?" I'm like, "No, that guy created that."
Did they see the Great Ball contraption?
Yeah, and walking around that table, that was the end of Saturday for us because that's when my daughter, she couldn't see anything, she couldn't get in. I was trying to pick her up so she could see stuff, but there were so many people. It was like 4 people back around that whole table, and I was like, she was done. She's like, I want.
How long did you stay there on Saturday with the kids?
It was maybe 3 hours.
Like you started right at 10?
Yeah. And we had lunch, and then after that we went back down, and it was maybe an hour more of walking around, and after that it was done.
Another cool thing I didn't know about was the free shuttle. So Harold and I, we wanted to check out the Lego store, but we didn't have a car because Maria was basically our Uber. But then we heard about the free shuttle, and so basically it was just outside the Renaissance. It was like the bus stop there, and it was coming at every 30 or hour, and so it took us right to what's Westfield? What do you know? What the mall with the Lego store?
right downtown Chicago.
No, just in Schaumburg. It took us right.
Okay.
It's like a 6 minute, or no, it wasn't. It was longer than 6 minutes, but it was basic. It took us right to the mall for free, and apparently this shuttle bus is it's only a Schaumburg thing. I guess the city of Schaumburg pays for this shuttle bus, and it takes you from. It takes I think there's even a stop at IKEA. There's like a stop at it's like a outdoor plaza, and then it just goes like in a loop back, like right back to the hotel.
Oh, that's
and so for people without cars, or even if you have a car and you don't want to drive, the shuttle just takes you. And so it was pretty easy. We just got to the Lego store, check out the Lego store, went to like the food court, and then headed back to the convention center and just taking the shuttle.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good to know for next year, because
I mean,
good. I know quite a few people were like, "Oh, we're going to the Lego store," and I'm like, "Where's the Lego store?" We just didn't want.
Yeah, it's at that mall. I can't. It starts with a W, like Westfield, or I can't remember. I know it starts with a W.
I know I've been to the Lego store like downtown Chicago, like in the city.
Yeah, the big one, right? I've seen pictures of that. We didn't go to that one,
but we didn't do any Lego store this year. We just did the Brick Mania, and then But I know next year, hoping to see a lot more things. Did you guys go into the city at all? Did you guys explore?
Maria, like my wife and the kids did that. So they did like while we were at the convention. So like well, they'd visit the family, but they'd also go to like a couple museums. They saw the Bean. They did a whole bunch of things downtown while Dad was playing at the Lego convention.
Is there anything as far as this year that really caught your eye, that kind of wowed you at the show?
Well, besides like New Hashima was very cool. The barge, a lot of basically almost every single mock was very cool. Even going by the Lego Masters table, just walking around that.
Yeah,
that was cool. There was another cool thing that I wish I would have gone to because I've seen a lot of footage. Is the Ninjago Fold concert? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, because they
had a whole mosh pit in there, and everyone's like going crazy. And I hope they come back next year too, because I want to check that out, or at least get footage of that.
We were standing there, and somebody was walking through, and they're like, "Oh, the Fold's going to be playing in like 2 minutes," and I'm like, "I didn't know who they were." And somebody's like, "Oh, they do the Ninjago theme music."
Yeah.
And then we actually walked past it and the hall that they were playing in, and it was packed. Like that whole room was packed.
In the front, right?
Yeah. So yeah, they do a really good job of always having something go on. I know we walked upstairs to eat lunch, and it was like Lego Master, Lego Master, Lego Master, and they had a private room off to the side. They must have catered in lunch for the Lego Masters. So the conference store opened up, and I seen all the Lego Masters were standing in there and like getting lunch and stuff. My kid's like, nice. "Oh, there's all Lego Masters in there." I'm like, "Yeah, we're not going to
recognize them."
But
TV stars.
That's the thing too, is like there's a couple Lego Masters that we were just upstairs hanging out, and I was like, "Why does that person look familiar?" And then I like looked into it, and I'm like, "Oh, they're a Lego Master," but they're like just hanging out, like they're normal people,
For sure.
And I haven't had any bad experience talking to any of them. Like they're all friendly, down to earth.
For sure. Yeah.
Just want to like hang out. So,
they were all AFOLs before. They were all AFOLs before being on Lego Masters.
Yeah, and like a couple of them are from Wisconsin. So I went up to the brothers from Wisconsin, said hi to them.
Oh, the twins, like the twins.
Yep.
Okay,
Cheesy Bricks.
Yes, Cheesy Bricks.
So,
nice.
It's cool just to kind of be in the same convention center as them, but definitely my first overall experience with it was fun.
This was your first convention at all?
No, I've been to Brick World Milwaukee, but it's nothing like Chicago.
Is Brick World Milwaukee, does it have a private day and a public day, or only a public day?
I believe they have both.
Okay.
The public and private. We've only gone to the public days. This is the first time.
This was your first private.
Getting the badges and and hands down.
You loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. Like it was a really good experience, and it was fun to see all the mocks, and it is really inspiring. Like leaving there, even on the way home, I was like, what am I going to do for a mock next year? Like the ball already started rolling, and like I got home and I like laid all my swag out that I got, and like you did on your pool table, like checking out all the stickers, all the swag, all the stuff I got. And then I'm like, all right, got to get the ball rolling. Like it's going to start now. Like I already started on Bricklink ordering my parts, and I'm starting on my mock.
Because I guess it's really close for you to drive it over, because you're not too far.
Yeah. Put it in the back of a car, and it's not a far drive at all. So
yeah. I heard though that they're starting early this year in terms of registration and mock signups, just because this past year basically they ran out of spots, and so a lot of us had to like give up tables, like shorten the mocks. And so I think next year coming up, they're gonna have like an even earlier sign up. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, I
I'm
seen
not
what
sure
happened.
when.
What I
Sorry?
seen you got an award because you gave up table space, right? Like
I got
happened?
got like an email, and it was like, we see that you registered for 2 tables. Is there a way we can shrink it down? So I was like, okay. So I just brought less stuff, and they gave me like a main table, and then they gave me like a little riser in front of it, and so which ended up okay. Like I put my like amusement park on the bottom, and the kids were able to see it better because it was like their level rather than being higher up.
High,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and I got like a little brickle, a little like robot thing.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, I noticed too, like I know a lot of people said like table space when they went in, they thought 1 table would be enough. And I heard one builder, I don't recall who it was. I think they're from I forgot what state. If I remember the state, I'll remember the name. But anyway, the builder was like, well, I thought 1 table would be enough until I started setting everything up because they basically did it at home on the table. But the table that they used at home wasn't as wide as and so when they were putting their mock-up, they had to take a lot of their landscape and a lot of their stuff out because the table wouldn't hold it.
They have to adjust.
So I don't know.
That was another thing too, in terms of the setup. We didn't have a lot of space behind our mock because they put the tables so close together.
Close, yeah. And how do you move around?
That's why during the public day, I wasn't even behind there. I was in the front because there were already people behind there. And basically, if you're back, like if people displaying behind you, they have to stand there too. You can't have 2 people standing back to back. It's this way, like it's side by side, and it's so crammed. And I guess they just did that because you need a lot of space for the public to be in. And there were a lot of tables, so it was really crammed for like the displayers. Having said, like I think the lugs had a lot of space though because they were like in a big square rather than just side by side, and so they had a lot of space inside. And like the vendors had a lot of space inside. But if you weren't part of a lug, if you're just displaying without a lug, you didn't have anywhere to stand or sit or anything. It was so crammed.
And that's where I was kind of saying before, like the huge congestion was around the great ball contraption. Like that took up so much space. The vendors all stuffed in the middle. Like everybody's trying to shop. I think if they literally took the vendors and put them in a conference room.
Yeah, that would be better.
It would open up more space, more tables, because like it was so congested. Like it was really nice Thursday, Friday, you know, you were there all the days, but when we were there Thursday walking around, like you could actually walk around.
Yeah.
And Saturday, like there were so many mocks that I wanted to show my son that we couldn't even get to because it was just people standing still, not moving. And it was just like, all right, I'm over this. But
maybe next year they'll move them into one of the conference rooms or like those ballrooms.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they can book that. But we'll see.
But they used them for other events like Zumba and other stuff, you know, like.
Oh, did you check out the Zumba? I heard about a Zumba, but I never checked it out.
Well, Tacos from AFL After Dark was running the Zumba class.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So
it might have been on your podcast that where I heard about that.
Yeah, actually. she was, you know, promoting.
There's supposed to be a Zumba that would turn into a party.
Yeah. And I think half the people are pretty hungover from the night before that did that. But that was the other thing too, is the people getting together. I think it was like all you heard of was people planning on doing stuff like, oh, we're going here tonight, we're doing this tonight, we're doing this.
It didn't happen.
And well, they did the Zumba, but the thing for us was like, who do we go with? Where are we gonna do?
Oh, I see. There's so many.
There's so much stuff going on. Like I know how you said like the year before, or the year prior to that, there were so many clicks. Where the Instagrammers were together, the YouTubers were together, this person was together, and like you said, like this year it was just intermingling. People are going all. We got invited to go to the Renaissance dinner. We got invited to go to here. And we were just like,
I know.
We're overwhelmed. But it was good. And now I see Brick World is now doing Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, is that so? That's new.
Yeah, that's in September.
Okay.
This year.
So now it's Milwaukee, Chicago, and Grand Rapids.
Yep.
Those are the three Brick Worlds.
And Grand Rapids for me is like 8-hour drive, which I don't think I'm going to go to.
That's far. Are you doing any other ones like Brick Fair or a lot of people are doing Brick Slopes? Yeah.
Not this year. I want to get out to Brick Slopes and check out that. I talked to Cody about it. It would definitely be a planned vacation because
that would be a flight for you, right?
It would be a flight.
Yeah.
So, but it does sound like a really good show, and it is getting bigger and bigger and bigger each year. So I think it's going to gain a lot of traction.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know,
I'd like to check that out too. I don't know if we could swing it this year, but yeah.
I know the one in Virginia is starting to lose steam.
Really?
Like they're saying a lot of people are kind of skipping that one because last year it wasn't very good, and then they're saying a lot less people are going to be attending Virginia's show. So
what happened last year that you heard?
I just heard it was kind of not the best quality, not the best setup. The convention wasn't very big.
Not as organized?
Yeah, I don't think it was as organized. I think a lot of the lugs were a lot of like teenage age kids.
Okay.
So it wasn't really
the teenage boy. It's the teenage boy vibe.
Yeah, and it was something I heard on Kelly Bricklick. That because M&R was out there, Plastic Art Attack, she was there with Sands, her husband, and she was kind of talking about the vibe of it wasn't really fun.
Teenage boy vibe.
Yeah. So I don't know how long that show will last, but I mean,
eventually the teenage boys are going to turn into
adults. Men. Yeah, exactly.
There'll be other teenage boys coming in. But
so what we should probably touch base with when you stream, what you do streaming wise, because I mean, you're, like I said at the beginning, you are an OG. You've been streaming for a while, Lego content, and I know following you, doing interviews and stuff, especially the one you did with Shy, you dove into it quite a bit. But why don't you cover your streaming, where you stream, how you got into it?
So right now we stream Friday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Pacific, and it's called Full of Brick. And so we do that with No More Bricks, Harold. And since we've moved to Friday nights, we've started having guests. So just other Lego AFOLs coming in, content creators. And so we usually do like different segments. So like a getting to know you type of segment. And then just like a week recap, stuff that we did during the week. So Maria and I might like just tell stories about our week, and then the guest might share something. And then we'll have like a show and tell segment where we just kind of show different things that we either built this week or picked up or stuff like that. And then the last segment's like a news that you can use. So like a news segment about different things and our like our opinions on that. So we started this, Maria and I started actually back in 2015. And this was actually, it wasn't even on the Brick Adjuster channel. It was on my my vlog channel, Nick's Brick Life. And so we were doing that. And then I think around 2017 we stopped because that's when I took my Pokemon Go break, and then in 2021 started the stream up again, as well as like uploading regular videos like that I normally do. And so from January 2021 until now we've been doing it. So technically it's like season 4 episode 25 was like our last one. Season 1 was like 2015 and all the way to like the end of like mid 2017. So season 1 was like a whole bunch. It wasn't really called a season back then. I just named it season because 2021 was season 2. So when we came back, and then last year was season 3, and then 2023 is season 4. Having said that, though, a new stream is in the works, and it was just we kind of talked about it today. It's brand new.
Is this breaking news?
It's breaking news. When is this stream going to be published?
Hopefully maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay. So because our first episode might not be in a couple of weeks, but so at Brickworld Chicago, Harold and I, we're both Filipino. We bumped into another group of Filipinos, and they're Twitch streamers. So I don't know if you heard of AZ Pinoy, Panfred Nudo, Pinwheel was also there too. He's also Filipino. But so a group of us with also Rob the Builder. He's big on like TikTok, Instagram, and No More Bricks. We're gonna do like a Filipino type stream talking about Filipino culture, how that relates to the Lego hobby. The first few episodes, we're kind of just going to be introducing ourselves, but eventually we're going to be bringing in guests, talking about maybe the guest culture, our culture, how that relates, how that mixes together. We had these ideas about like sending care packages of different Filipino foods or something. They could try it on the podcast, or even sending like a DoorDash or Uber Eats from like Jollibee, which is a Filipino fast food restaurant. They can try some mango peach pie or something. And so it's a new thing that we're brainstorming it today. We're on AZ Pinoy's Twitch stream for like live, like maybe like a couple hours chatting about it with the chat and everything. So it's public, like the chat in Twitch, where they're all about it. They're all talking about it. And so this is breaking news on the YouTube side, I guess, on the YouTubes. It's funny, like it's like a lot of the Filipino accents were going in there just as jokes. And so it's it was good. It was just, it was like again with the intermingling that we were talking about earlier. Yeah. Now like the Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of us are going to be on the stream from like the different platforms. We can like introduce guests that we know from our own platforms, and I can start meeting Twitch streamers that I don't even know, and the YouTube chats will know about different Twitch streamers, and same with the Twitch will know about different YouTube streamers. So there'll be a lot of like intermingling here as well. So it's a new thing that that's in the works that we're planning. So
that's awesome. No, I mean, the more content, the merrier, because I've kind of noticed too, people have dropped off, people have started stuff. There's a lot of people that keep the consistency. That's the hardest thing, is keeping consistent. But some of the people that do it full time for a living, which blows my mind, that you can create content and live off of it. You know, Emmasaurus and Ryan and all the successful people, which is never my goal. Just I'm doing this for fun.
For fun, yeah, I'm doing it for fun too.
But the streams are awesome, because it's you know, when I jump on with you guys, it's always funny. You know, you guys are always doing something fun, so I do appreciate it, and I thank you for your content, because it is enjoyable to relax, and you know, after a long work week, and jump on, and you guys are doing your thing, and it's just good conversation.
Yeah, it used to be Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern time.
Ooh,
And people would be like, how do you have so much energy at 8 a.m.? I'm like, I don't know. It's just,
my kids are
but
usually
then,
up early.
but yeah, this podcast is doing well. Like usually at the gym, I'll be listening to your pod. You haven't gone Apple Podcast yet or Spotify or anything, have you?
Nothing yet. I had quite a few people ask me, like, when is it going to be available when you can download a podcast? And my goal is to at least get more content where I can release it all at once. Because I just didn't want to drop, the first couple and then have people wait. I think if you had an abundance, then people can listen on a long road trip or whatever. But it's coming soon. It's
Nice.
work in progress.
Yeah, we started doing that too. Like just even though it is a kind of a visual show, but we have I have it up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. It's really easy. Just from StreamYard, you just download the audio and then just shoot it in. So
yep. And that's something I talked to you about prior. Is we are going to go from the Google Meet platform to StreamYard. So it's another work in progress.
Nice. It's always a work in progress of different avenues that you can kind of change things up or.
Well, you learn so much from what other people do.
Yeah.
But
cool.
Yeah, I think that's about all I have. For everybody checking this out, definitely hit up your stream on Friday nights, and hopefully, I mean, it's growing. You see the numbers grow.
It is growing. Yeah, since we've moved to Friday, more people are finding it because people before, when we did Saturdays, they would watch it after the fact. There weren't a lot of people live because not a lot of people were awake.
Yeah,
especially on the West Coast. Who's awake at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning? So since we moved to the Friday night, more people are realizing that we're there and then checking it out. So it's cool. It's cool to have people live because we're used to just chatting. Not a lot of people in the comments, and then
that's the best part is the interaction.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Well, I think that's about all I have. I do appreciate your time. It was fun.
Thanks for inviting me.
Chat, get your perspective on Brick World Chicago, and look forward to next year. And I don't know, might be staying at the same hotel. I don't know, but get some good input on the free rides, the free taxi service.
Good. Yep. Well, there's shuttle buses.
Yeah.
It's like like a bus.
But maybe we'll go to the medieval dinner, get a Costco chicken.
If there's a bunch of people doing it again, I'll do that again.
Yeah, for sure.
We had on our Lion Knights Castle jerseys, my wife and I.
I know.
And a bunch of people had the Black Falcon. Yeah.
I'll have to rock that next year.
You already have the shirt.
So, all right. Well, I appreciate it. How can people find you on social media? What's the best way?
It's Brick Adjuster on all platforms. So Brick Adjuster on YouTube, Brick Adjuster on Instagram. There is a Brick Adjuster on Twitch and Brick Adjuster on TikTok. So it's Brick Adjuster.
Well, make sure you guys go like and follow. Follow, share this if you guys enjoy this. And there'll be many more podcasts coming up after this one. And once again, thank you very much for your time. And we'll see you guys on the next Tavern Brick podcast.
Bye-bye.
See ya.